Alright, guys, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be talking about percentage versus salary for OF careers as an agency owner. So a lot of people don't even know, there's a lot of businesses out there that don't even know you can actually work with salary models. We just pay them a salary per month, and you take, the rest of the money that's left in the OF account. Obviously, most people do percentage, and a lot of people don't know what the benefits are for both of these. There's obviously cons as well. So yeah, so that's what I'm talking about. So first of all, percentage. Obviously, percentage is the most basic thing. Usually careers from like UK, US, Australia, like these main countries are usually willing only to work with percentage. If you do offer them a salary, obviously I say usually because obviously some girls will say yes to that. But usually from countries like this, if you want to pay them a salary, it's going to have to be a lot higher. Obviously, in places like UK, US, even the minimum wage, like for a job, is a lot higher than in third world countries. So if you were to offer them a salary, you'd have to do, I'd say, around 3K minimum, but most of what would expect like 4K, even 5K. So obviously, unless you do actually manage to make a lot of money, like you're very confident that you'll make all that money back very fast, it's not really worth it to do that, in my opinion. So yeah, usually be percentage. Obviously, as for the percentage, some girls will say yes to 50, some will say yes to 60, some will say yes to 70, even higher than 70 sometimes. So it really depends. Obviously, percentage is very good, and it can be very well worth it. I feel like now at this point, 50% is a very bare minimum that anyone should accept as an agency. At the end of the day, obviously, it's thanks to the creator, where the money comes from. But at the same time, the agency, puts a lot of hours into it. You do all the marketing, all that stuff. So yeah, 50% is like the minimum that I would say any agency you should accept. But obviously, the higher the better for you. Now, second point is less profit but more secure / less risk. So what I mean by this is obviously, yeah, you'll be making less money, but especially for beginners or even if you're an experienced agency owner, it doesn't always go as well as you want sometimes, right? Like sometimes you're going to sign a career that you think, yeah, she's got a lot of potential, I'm going to make her so much money like within the first month, and then it goes way below your expectations, right? And obviously in cases like this, especially if you're an agency, like a beginner, or you don't have a lot of money to your name yet, if you're paying a salary girl, you're gonna have to either pay her up front, like for the first week at least, or you're just gonna have to pay her weekly or monthly, and if you don't make that money back and profit, you're just losing money, right? Whereas with a percentage model, even if you only make $200 on her account the whole month, you still technically made some money, right? Like it's obviously not a lot, but you still made something. You didn't lose anything, most likely. So yeah. Now the next part is they can get motivated / demotivated by the amount being made. This is one issue that I see a lot with a lot of creators. Obviously, a lot of girls, they'll come into OF expecting that it's a sort of a thing where they just post pictures online and that they expect hundreds of thousands within the first few days. Like at the end of the day, it's a business. As easy as people say it is, it's still a business. You still have to put a lot of effort into it. And a lot of these creators, if they log into the account, especially when they work with an agency, they expect the agency to make them thousands. So, sometimes if they log into the account and they only see $1,000 in 1 month being made, and they have to split that half, for example, they might not be happy with it. Some girls obviously will be happy with it. They'll think, yeah, that's good for the first month. Now let's improve it. But then there'll also be a lot of creators that won't be happy with that at all, and they will just demotivate them and think there's no point even putting any effort into it. And obviously, like I said earlier, it's because of the creator where the money comes from, right? They're the one that makes the content. So when the creator then gets demotivated, they start probably putting less hours into it, start making less content, and then even less money will probably be made because obviously the more content, the more money you can make, right? But obviously, at the same time, if you do well for the first month, let's say you make her 5k, half of that for her, so let's say 2.5k. If she's happy with that, she'll get motivated and think, wow, that's great for the first month. Now I'm going to put even more effort into it and work harder and make more money. So, it can go both ways. It can, if they see the account doing well, they'll be motivated, they'll want to make more content, they'll want to make more money. Or if you don't make them a lot of money, it'll just demotivate them, and they'll put less effort into it. There's, like I said, all of these points, it doesn't always happen. Obviously, there's some creators that understand it can take time. There's some creators that don't really care. No, they don't care, but they're not going to let them demotivate them. But there's obviously a lot of creators that this does happen with, and I see it happen often. So, yeah. Now, next one is often more options and how to bring traffic / more hours they are willing to spend. Not always the case. So, with a lot of percentage models, obviously, just the fact that they are from the UK or US, Australia, places like this. Obviously, this is like the type of girls that mainly go viral on platforms. That's just how it is, right? There's no, it's not like I'm saying that's what I prefer or anything like that. That's literally how, it's a fact. Like, if you scroll on TikTok right now, you'll notice that the girls that live in US or UK are the ones that go viral, like 90% of the time. But yeah, like I said, there's a lot more options. Obviously, just the fact that they're willing to put more hours into it. But also the fact that, they might have a better phone, like a newer iPhone. Maybe their background, the house they live in, it looks better. Even if they go outside, right? Like if you go outside in the UK or US, even if they don't live in the best areas of these places, it can still look good, And yeah, and obviously most likely, unless like the point before, if they get demotivated, they'll be willing to be a lot more consistent. Now, salary girls, this is what a lot of people, it's like a lot of people are starting to do recently. I've been moving over to salary models a bit more often recently. The past I don't know, past 2 or 3 months, I've been focusing more on salary models because there's more profit. So yeah, creators from third world countries like Colombia, Argentina, places like this are willing to work on salary, higher profit for the agency, but if you don't make more on the account than salary, you're just losing money. So, first point, I sort of skipped over it. The first point, obviously, in places like Colombia, Argentina, stuff like that, if you offer them even like a 1K salary a month, that's for them, that's good, right? The way I do it is I'll offer them like a salary like that, and I'll give them bonuses. Like if we make a lot of money on the account and she's clearly working hard, like up to the standards that we need to make money, then obviously we'll pay bonuses. Like a lot like with salary, obviously you're paying a salary that she agreed to, so like she can't expect bonuses. But when you pay bonuses on a salary, they're gonna get you more happy and more motivated to work even harder, because they're gonna want to work towards another bonus, like for the next month's payment, right? So that's one thing as well. Just a little tip: like if you do want to do salary models, just because you're on salary doesn't mean you shouldn't ever pay a bonus, or even smaller things like buying her a new phone or clothes. Anything like to do with improving the content, stuff like that. They'll obviously they'll be happy with that too. So yeah. But yeah, so the second part, like I said, higher profit for the agency, but if you don't make more on the account than her salary, you're just losing money. So it's kind of like I was saying about the percentage part, like salary is more risky. Like if you're a beginner to OFM, or like even if you're not a beginner, but you might just not have a lot of money to your name, if things go wrong and you pay her and you don't make that money back and profit, you just lost money for the month, right? Obviously, like with the salary that you can pay, in my opinion, it's very easy to make that money back, like especially within a whole month. But obviously, things can go wrong, where it just leads to you not making that money back. So you just got to keep that in mind. If in my opinion, the best option is, especially for beginners, is to start with percentage girls. You know, get to a point where you're confident you can scale any career to at least like 5K a month, and then that's when you should get salary careers. Because then, you know, if you can get any girl to 5K a month, even if you only reach 5K a month, that's still, you know, that's still a good amount of profit. You know, like that's still like 70 or 80% profit, something like that. So it's good. Now, the next one is they don't have access to your OF accounts, so there won't be any issues with how much you make that can determine whether they are motivated or not. So yeah, like obviously there's another factor, like they don't see how much money you make. You know, when it's a salary creator, they don't have access to your OF account, obviously, because if they saw you were making a lot more money, then, you know, maybe they would try to break the contract and just steal the account, for example. But yeah, you know, they get paid a salary, right? They get paid a salary to do the work that you need them to do. So there's not going to be anything that determines whether they are motivated to do it or not. But they just know that if they don't make the content, obviously, you're not going to want to pay them, and that's it. Now, last one is usually lower quality creators, low quality firms with less hours they're willing to spend, etc. / less options for traffic sources you can do. And once again, this is not always the case. There's always going to be salary girls out there that are willing to put, you know, tons of hours a day in it. You know, make reels every single day. You know, make content for everything that you need. But in most cases, like on average, most salary girls that you'll find, they won't be like this. Like, obviously, you know, it's a third world country, right? Like, chances are, until you buy them a new phone, they'll have a low quality phone at first. Chances are they're probably going to be working a different, like an actual job as well. So there won't be many hours they can actually put effort into it. And obviously, you know, with things like Instagram Reels, you need to be doing this consistently every single day. So if the salary girl can't do Reels every single day, then obviously there's no point in you even doing Reels, right? There's obviously lots of tracks. Like, for example, like the way I do it with salary creators is most of the time I'll literally only do like Twitter and Reddit for them. And then for the salary girls that actually do put in a lot of effort into it, I'll pay them bonuses and stuff. I'll do Instagram, I'll do threads for them, all of these things. But on average for a salary girl, I'll literally only do Twitter and Reddit just to make like 10K a month, automate it, easy as, you know, I pay them like 1K a month, let's just say. And the rest of the money goes to me. Obviously I pay my team and stuff, but it's like 80% profit, right? Automate it straight away, move on to another one. You know, 10 salary girls on 10K a month, 100K a month already. Very easy to do. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the differences, you know. Personally, like I said, in my opinion, the best option is start with percentage. Once you're confident you can scale any girl to at least like 5K, then move on to salary. But overall, you know, I think it's good having a mix of both, because, you know, with salary girls, unless you really do get lucky and find a really good one that's generally the hardest worker ever, you know, or like everything is good about her, obviously then yeah, she can make a ton of money, she can make 50K plus a month. But a lot of the time, like if you want to scale like 1 or 2 models to like 50K, 100K plus a month, it's good to have like a UK or US percentage model where, you know, you can maybe even meet up with them, you can shoot content with them, like reels and stuff like that. Build an actual good relationship with them, like long term, you know. I think it's good having both. Like the way I have it with my agency is like I have my main models that make the most on percentage, and then we just have a lot of salary girls making like 10 to 20K a month that we just sort of have automated, and we're just scaling it that way. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Hope you guys learned something from this. I got a free group and a private group that will all be in the description as well. So make sure you guys join. And yeah.